Okay, so as of now, what would you like people to know about this process? What would you want people to know now?
That's a great
If you were
question.
talking to everyone right now, what would you want them to hear you say about this?
Okay, we have a convergence of crises in our society that cannot be solved within the existing system.
Okay, okay.
We can pass laws, we can whatever, everybody can become conscious, we can reach critical mass of consciousness. It's not going to matter unless we deal with the system. This is a way to change the system. Here is a way to create a we the people, a visit of all of us, that can set the direction for the system that we have. It has no risk. Lots of individual risk because it's asking us to change. But in terms of our system, this is a random selection of people. They're randomly selected, they make a statement, they go away. Here is a low, no risk strategy for transforming our system to become workable, where there's a we the people in charge. If you think about what a facilitator is one person, you, who goes into a room of people and shifts the way those people think. Now they're possibly thinking at a very, very high level. Now, if you're going as a facilitator and teach them about Robert's Rules of Order, that's a very low level of thinking. But if you facilitate in a way that raises this quality of thinking, where now they're thinking at this heartfelt, creative way that I call choice creating, where we're looking at what really matters and we're trying to figure out what's best for everybody and we're coming up with unanimous answers that we're excited about. If you could, so there's a system. You have shifted the system of thinking in that room. It's possible also to shift the system of thinking in our whole society. If you randomly select, say 10 to 12 people from the nation, and those people, we're going to give you 3 factors. If you randomly select these people, if they choose the issue, and if they reach unanimity on that issue, if they're unanimous and they all stand, yes, this is what we all think, then we've achieved a symbol of we the people of the United States.
Okay, that's like the inception of the process.
Yeah, that's the beginning of the process. So if somehow, no matter who sets it up, just you or I or whatever, if we get and we meet those 3 criteria, that if they're random, they select the issue, and if they reach unanimity, then their voice is a voice of we the people. It's the first general interest voice that I'm aware of in 220 years. Everything else has been a special interest voice. There's a small group conversation, and those people have shifts and breakthroughs. And we've done this, of course, in we've done these random selections of people, and they have shifts and breakthroughs, and they're pumped. And they then walk on stage, and now the key is, how do we get that experience to resonate to everybody? How does everybody feel a part of that conversation and that present? When they walk on stage and present to an assembled gathering of the townspeople, say, so in the national case, they would present presumably on TV to a large audience of maybe celebrities, and everybody would hear the presentation, and then they would meet in small groups and talk about it. When we've done this in the past, pretty much everybody in the audience says, yeah, we think so too. And they engage in a conversation that's similar, not the same, but similar to what that other group did. In other words, they're talking from the heart. They're also thinking more in terms of these breakthroughs and shifts and kind of being a part of that similar conversation. So that's the key, is how do we get this randomly selected group to be on center stage where all of us identify and with them as we the people, a symbolic voice of we the people, and then you and I get to talk and be a part of that conversation. And then we would maybe send our views into the internet or different, we would have a national conversation, and then in 4 months we'd randomly select a new group, different group. And they would also be random, they would also choose the issue, and they would also reach unanimity. And what we found is that the issues that they choose, if they're connected to the audience, they tend to take the issue as a next step. They tend to take the conversation the next step. This second random group. Mm-hmm. But what you end up with is a vision, a shared vision that we all have. And you end up with maybe a mission, and you end up with a strategy of how we might proceed. And it's a strategy of, hey, here's legislation we can do, here's individual actions we can do, here's individual actions I'm going to do. So I'm interested in establishing a national conversation that is a quality is of a certain quality where people just get it, that we need one another and that we're just people here, and when we've got some big problems and we need to solve them,